Dylanwang looks panicked. Shen Yue was rushed to the hospital after her honeymoon. Not everything is as it seems, and what you're about to hear will keep you guessing. What looked like a perfect honeymoon quickly turned into a frightening emergency. Shen Yue was rushed to the hospital, and Dylanwang's panic sent shockwaves through fans worldwide. But the real story behind their sudden crisis is far more complicated than anyone expected. Stay tuned, the truth is just beginning to unfold. Before we begin, hit subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The world had been watching, waiting, and hoping as Dylanwang and Shen Yue vanished from the public eye to begin what was supposed to be the most magical chapter of their lives, their honeymoon. Nestled in a secluded Swiss mountain village, far from the relentless buzz of cameras and social media, the couple had chosen a quiet paradise where winter's soft touch blankets everything in white. It was a place where lovers go to lose themselves in each other, where time slows down and only the heartbeat of two souls matters. But dreams, even the most beautiful, can sometimes crack beneath the surface. The first hint that something was amiss came when Dylanwang arrived back in Shanghai alone. The usually confident, polished actor was visibly shaken. His eyes darted nervously as he moved quickly through the crowded airport terminal. The camera flashes were relentless, but his expression was grim, distant, a stark contrast to the usual charm he exudes in public. His coat was pulled tight around him as if it could shield him from the storm raging inside. Fans and reporters tried to catch a word, a clue, but Dylan was silent. His usual calm was replaced with tension that was almost tangible. He avoided eye contact and hurried past, his gait unsteady, betraying an internal panic that sent shockwaves through his followers. Later that day, breaking news spread like wildfire. Shen Yue, his beloved wife, had been rushed to the hospital just hours after their return. The joyous honeymoon had ended with an emergency none expected. According to sources close to the couple, the morning after they landed, Shen Yue was found collapsed in their residence outside Beijing. Witnesses described a harrowing scene, Dylan cradling her fragile form as he called for help, his voice cracking with desperation. The usually composed actor was reduced to a whirlwind of worry and fear, his every move consumed by the urgent need to save her. It was a sight that shattered the hearts of millions. Here was a man known for his strength, standing vulnerable and shaken, his world tilting on its axis. Paramedics arrived swiftly, loading Shen Yue into an ambulance as Dylan followed, never letting go of her hand. He stayed by her side, whispering comforting words as if his voice alone could hold the darkness at bay. The ride to the hospital was tense, the sirens piercing the quiet night as the city blurred past their window. At the emergency entrance, Dylan's grip tightened. Medical personnel immediately whisked Shen Yue inside, and Dylan was gently pulled aside, his face pale, eyes wild with worry. For over an hour, he stood outside the sterile doors, frozen in place, his heartbeat loud enough to echo in his ears. Nurses who passed by said they had never witnessed such raw emotion in someone so public. His body trembled from exhaustion and fear, knuckles white from gripping the rail, eyes filled with unshed tears. He repeated her name over and over, pleading silently for her to hold on. Inside the hospital room, Shen Yue was fighting her own battle. Doctors revealed she had collapsed due to extreme exhaustion, compounded by a dangerously high fever and dehydration. It was the culmination of weeks spent pushing herself beyond limits, a honeymoon shadowed by her determination to keep up appearances despite her body's cries for rest. Swiss locals who had glimpsed the couple during the final days of their trip spoke of Shen Yue's waning energy. She was seen clutching her head, struggling to keep her balance on the icy paths, yet her smile remained radiant, the kind of smile that hides pain behind a mask of grace. Dylan, believing in her strength, never suspected how fragile she truly was. The guilt weighed heavily on him. When the medical team finally allowed Dylan back into the room, his posture crumpled with relief and guilt. He took Shen Yue's hand in his touch gentle but trembling. Hours passed in silence, broken only by his whispered apologies and reassurances. "I should have seen it," he murmured, voice raw. "I should have protected you." For the hours that followed, Dylan remained by her side, refusing to leave even for a moment. He watched every shallow breath, memorized every delicate detail, the soft curve of her eyelashes, the faintest movement of her lips. Nurses described him as utterly devoted, brushing stray strands of hair from her forehead as if anchoring her to this world. Outside, the news had spread globally. Fans gathered in silent vigil, clutching handmade signs, candles flickering in the evening breeze. Messages of hope and prayers poured in from every corner of the internet. The usually bustling spaces of social media were transformed into sanctuaries of collective support. Back in the hospital, the first sign of hope came late that night. Shen Yue's eyes fluttered open, glassy but alive. She whispered Dylan's name, and the actor's entire being seemed to release a breath he had been holding for days. Tears streamed down his face as he smiled through the exhaustion, holding her gaze as if grounding himself in that single moment. "You scared me," he said, voice thick with emotion. "Please don't ever do that again." Her faint smile was the answer he needed, the silent promise that she was still fighting, still here. Doctors have since announced that she is recovering well but will need extended rest. She knew would need weeks of rest, far from the pressures of work and fame. Dylan, ever the protective husband, vowed to be her rock through it all, promising to shield her from the relentless glare of the world. This ordeal, terrifying and raw, revealed a depth of love that fans had only glimpsed in fleeting moments on screen. It showed a man willing to face his deepest fears for the woman who had captured his heart. It showed a woman whose strength shone brightest in vulnerability. In the days that followed, Dylan shared rare, heartfelt messages with their supporters. He thanked everyone for their prayers and support, asking for patience as they navigated the healing journey together. Fans across the world have flooded social media with support. Hashtags like Get Well Soon Shen Yue and Dylan by her side have taken over trending lists. Though the honeymoon had ended in crisis, what blossomed in the hospital room was something far more enduring, a testament to love's resilience when faced with the unexpected. And as Shen Yue rests, cradled in Dylan's steadfast presence, the world watches united in hope, moved by courage, and inspired by a love that refuses to waver even when the night seems darkest. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.